Wake up and be amazing, beautiful souls. Hey, if you're catching me live today on Facebook, do me a favor and hit hashtag live. If you're coming back, hit hashtag replay. If you're listening on the podcast, be sure to comment because we're going to make this a two-way street. Midlife Power Hour. Why? Because I believe that you're not too late. You're just in time. That's right. We've lived, we've loved, we've lost. We used to ride our bikes on the street. We used to play out until the street lights came on. Or if you're like me, it was when the first mom or dad whistled and said it was time to go and everybody went home. Because remember, if you believe your best days are behind you, I'm here to light a fire under your ass to say the best days are ahead. We're talking Gen X. We're talking 1965 to 1980. Up until recently, and I was telling Tanya this the other day, my wife the other day, said, for a couple of years, I've been saying 40-year-olds, but now the end of Gen X is actually 45 years old. So if you're in a place where you can enjoy a cup of coffee, I usually do one. So over the years, as I've lived a little bit, I have chosen quality over quantity. So after our last trip to Italy, we bought an espresso machine and it frosts the coffee. It makes it delicious. I know exactly what I want. I do buy a double espresso if I want to make that in the afternoon because I do work from home. But with that, I usually have one cup sometime between 4 and 5 a.m. One cup sitting by my Christmas tree that sits up 24/7, 365. Sit on my love seat after I've let the dogs out, after I fed the dogs. If my wife is home after, I make sure the dogs don't go back into the room and wake her up. So I sit there. You could call it meditation, you could call it prayer, but I sit. I always also say that I lost my dad 10 years ago, like life stopped, but it didn't. It was like 13 years ago, I think my dad passed. So I spend a little bit of time talking to my pops in the morning, and that's how I start my day with intention, with an amazing cup of coffee. Blessed to have that cup of coffee. All right, let me pause. I'm going to take a sip. Are you a coffee drinker? Yes or no? So since Tanya had her pacemaker put in October of 2024, she actually does not enjoy the taste of coffee. So I've been making tea for her uh, every day, every morning. And what I have learned about that is that it takes a little bit more time to make her coffee, or excuse me, her tea. And everything for me now is about slowing down and nurturing and cherishing everything that's going on in life, everything that's going on in life, and taking my whisper to a roar. But I just wonder, now that you are, say, 50 years old, do you still want to grow? Do you still want to learn? Do you want to learn and grow from kids? I think there's opportunity to learn from the younger generation. I definitely think there's wisdom in the older generation, and I consider us kind of in between. Think about the influencers in the world. It seems that they're on TikTok or Instagram or whatever format. They tend to be really, really young. And we've all been really, really young. But once you reach my age, in your late 50s, it seems that we just kind of disappear. We don't shine our light anymore. We forget to tell the world who we are, what we are, and where we want to go. But because I know that I'm not going to retire, I may reduce the amount of hours I work. I may reduce the amount of people I coach, maybe a smaller community. I don't know what that looks like. But what I do know is that we all have to have a purpose. My purpose is, it says on my shirt, I'm not going to sit up so you can see it, to educate you every single day. For those that don't know, I was in public education for about a decade. I've taught at two different universities. So educating you is most important, right? I want to teach you to fish. I want to motivate you to wake up every day and step into your mission, vision, and purpose every day and empower you to believe you can do it. So that's where I am. That's who I am. And if I don't tell my story enough, people won't remember or they don't know. But if you're joining me live, hit hashtag live. If you're coming back, hit hashtag replay. All right. So let's talk today. Remember, we're the last free range generation, the last generation that grew up before the internet. We were in the mix of the internet. I did not play Oregon Trail. I was already out of school by the time those came. So here were the computers when I was a kid in school. They were called Trash 80s, TRS 80s by Radio Shack. I realize Radio Shack's not here anymore. How many of you sat down at a TRS 80 and maybe you played Asteroids in the afternoon? I don't know. Or you wrote DOS and then you had a syntax error on line 110 and I was like, screw this. I'm not doing that again. Maybe I should have. Maybe I'd been in, you know, coding, but that is certainly not my jam. Purpose, people, those are the two things for me. I'm inviting you to join what I'm calling GenX Rising to get your vitality code and map. And it starts with downloading the 5 truths that I believe every Gen Xer should hear. That's right. 5 truths every Gen Xer should hear. You should be able to get the link in the show notes below or the description, depending on if you're watching live on the Book of Faces or you're catching the podcast on Spotify or Apple, wherever it is, or on YouTube. So I'm going to repurpose all of it so that I make sure that I hit everybody where they are. Because if you're still breathing, we have flipping work to do. So grab your coffee. Let's make it coffee and conversation. I've got the 5 truths. I've got some notes. If you hear something you like, hit some hearts. Show a brother some love that you're listening, that I'm not the only one awake this morning. I always forget when I have my light that when I wear my glasses, I can kind of see it. It kind of freaks me out. I usually wear my contacts, but I decided since I got new glasses and it's still relatively early in the morning, I want to wear my glasses. It's irrelevant. I just want to say, all right. Throughout the broadcast, I'm going to ask you to hit hashtag live or replay. I'm going to ask some questions. I've got my PC opened up so I can see, because I don't always get the comments when I use my phone. Facebook, in my opinion, doesn't really make it easy to go live anymore, especially on their platform. And I haven't decided which platform I like best, so it's easiest to just go live on my phone. All right. So welcome to Turn Positivity into Possibility in a Midlife Power Hour, where we're going to bring it to you live on the Book of Faces Wednesday mornings at 6 Central Time. So set your alarm, set your timer. If you want to be educated, motivated, empowered to step into the next act of your life. 5 truth bombs that I believe every Gen Xer should know. No one, this is number 1. No one is coming for you. No one. No one is coming for you. What does that mean? It means that the only one that can step forward and create the life they love is you. The only way to do that is to take action. It's to take the first step. It's like in the movie Network. And if you haven't seen it, you can go back on YouTube and look for this particular scene. And he takes over the TV station. He opens up the windows of New York City. And he says, I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. So complacency, good, right, prevents us from being great. And if you're already good, awesome. But let's be great. Let's shine our light. Let's take our collective whispers to a roar and make the world a healthier, happier, more prosperous place, because Gen X is up and out and moving, and we're not sitting on our asses, and we're not in that lazy boy, kick back, clicker in hand, and just bitching about the world today. What does that do? If we're complaining without a way to fix it, it's just bitching for bitching's sake. I don't want to do it. I want to surround myself with people that don't want to do it. So if you're ready to literally take that first step, to take the next step, to step into your next act, and maybe you're a little sad. Maybe you're a little lost. Maybe you're a little concerned about your health. Maybe you're concerned about your aging parents. Maybe you're concerned about your younger children, or who knows? My kids are all in their 30s at this point. My stepkids are in their 20s, so they're young adults figuring things out. 2 of them of the 5 have their own families now. So they're all things to think about and be concerned about, but no one's coming for you to create the life you love. And I want to remind you to live the life you have while you do it. So truth bomb number 1, no one is coming for you. Truth bomb number 2, you cannot outrun what you do not face. We all have skeletons on our closet, right? We all have things that we don't enjoy about the life we have, but it makes us who we are. I want to challenge you today to face the kind of skeletons in your closet, to have that hard conversation, to step forward and forgive. And Jessica reminded me of this the other day on one of our community calls. Forgiving doesn't mean forgetting. It just means letting go of that pain, that heartache that you have inside you. And you're like, it's on you. You take back the power by forgiving. So don't outrun it. Face it head on, face it just like the bison. This is the reason that we use the bison as our logo, as our mascot, as our mantra. We use it so that we head into the storm. So that we choose, like the bison, to instead of running from the storm, we head right through it. Therefore, we eliminate our pain and suffering and we attack it. Whereas the cow is going to run from the storm, therefore experiencing more pain and suffering longer. So let's step into it. Let's get out of it. Let's go on. Faster, faster, faster. Get through it. So you cannot outrun what you don't face. What you don't face. Hold on one second. I'm going to try to find something. Here's our Facebook. Drives me nuts. All right. So if you're joining me live, I've got a little technical issue on my PC. I want to see if I can fix it. I don't understand why. All right. Grab a cup of coffee. Have a sip. Grab your tea. Grab your water. Grab your protein drink. Do something that betters you today. Get fired up. Let's quit being mellow. Let's quit just laying around. Let's get fired up about the day ahead. Let's know that no one is coming for you. You cannot outrun what you do not face. Absolutely cannot outrun what you do not face. 3, truth bomb number 3. You do not need permission to start over. Nobody needs to say go. Nobody needs to push the button. Nobody needs to blow the whistle. And coaches were not put on this earth to blow the whistle or say go. They were meant to lead, to have a start point, an end point, a middle point, to lead along the way, to raise their voice when it's necessary, to put your arm around them, put your arm around you when necessary, but pick you up each and every step along the way. That's how it goes. So you do not need to hit the starting gun. Remember, Monday's a Monday. The first is a first. The new year is a new year. You can make today your Monday. Absolutely, you can make today your Monday. So you do not need permission. You know who you need to get permission from? You. You need to tell yourself that you are worthy of stepping into your next act, of deciding what you want. And I call that a vivid vision. It's something we work on, I teach and coach. A vivid vision. So manifestation, things don't just fall out of the sky because you believe they will. You begin to make choices that align with what you want. So what is the life you want to lead? What is lead? What is the legacy you want? That's why we have the Legacy Rut Club, because we're going to leave a legacy. And there we start out with physical fitness, mindset, and resiliency first. So what stories do you want your children to remember, your grandchildren? What do you want them to remember about you? Who were you, or what did you stand for? And today you can start living that, because you don't need permission at all. You do not need permission. What you need is to look in the mirror, tell yourself you're worthy, that you're going to stand up, that you don't feel tardy, right? You don't feel tardy. Now it's time to give yourself permission to start, to regain your health, to regain your mindset, to step into, you want to be a digital nomad? You want to create a business that allows you to work from anywhere? Then find one or create one. You want to and build a barn dominium and live out in the country? Do it. You want to go live along the seashore? Go do it. You want to live in the mountains? Go do it. You want to have a better relationship with your kids? Go do it. You want to build deeper friendships? Go do it. You want to create retreats all across the globe like us? Go do it. because you don't need permission. You need action. Give yourself permission. Truth, but actually, let's review the first 3 truth bombs today. What resonates with you? What did you need to hear? What will you share? No one is coming for you. You must take action yourself. You must be brave enough to step into it today. You must face the fear today. And by the way, if these aren't you, I bet you know somebody that all 5 of these will resonate with. Share it. It's our duty to take our whisper to a roar. You cannot outrun what you don't face. You cannot outrun what you don't face. So take action today. Let it go. Forgive it. Move on. You cannot change the past. But I wholeheartedly believe we can shape the future. Prost. I'm going to take a little sip. You do not need permission. You do not need permission to start over. There's always a reset button. Now learn from where you are, but then take action. Somebody told me a long time ago what the best, they asked me the question, what do the best business people have in common? They know when to start over. They don't hang around when it's over. They start over. They reinvent themselves. Gary Vee was talking to a woman on a podcast the other day. She was saying that she was putting out content, and she put out 300 pieces of content, and she'd had like 13 views per. And he goes, well, you've stuck around long enough to know that you've got to pivot, that whatever you're saying just isn't resonating. It doesn't mean that's a failure. You learn. And how can you create new content? I don't know what she was selling. It was irrelevant, but you have to know when to pivot because you don't need permission to start over. All right, let's go into truth bomb numero 4. Strength isn't just physical. We need physical strength. We need to be able to get off the toilet by ourselves as long as possible. We need to climb into the truck. We need to have the ability to get off the floor, play with the kids, climb a mountain. We need that because without our physical strength, imminent demise is on the horizon. But we can build resiliency, right? Mental strength by reading, by writing, by learning, by being tough as nails, by being the gritty GenXer you are. We were allowed to give her permission to learn, to fail, to fight. So don't think because you're not a physical beast that you don't have strength. You have strength. You have internal fortitude. Step into it. Be brave. Let your voice be heard. You have the strength. Step into that strength. You want to be an international photographer? Take a trip. Jessica, that's what she did. So she wanted to go on our first international retreat to Italy, and she didn't have the time or the money or a passport. So she said within 24 to 48 hours after our conversation, she went and got her passport. They take 2 passport pictures. You send one in. They're like the little photo booth pictures, right? So she took the next one and she put international photographer. So less than a year later, we held a retreat in Mexico City. And I said, Jess, as soon as you join us, as soon as you take that first picture and you're in a different country, you're now an international photographer. So now she's an international photographer with dreams and visions to be even bigger and share her beauty of photography with the world. That was strength. That was the internal fortitude to overcome the fear, to not be afraid, to take action. There really is no fear. You can have fear. It's a good thing. We're only born with 2 fears, right? Loud noises, and I just drew a blank. And falling, I think. We'll have to look it up. So somebody fact check me. I just drew a blank. That's not on my cheat sheet today. 2 fears. The rest are learned. But step into your fear. They're going to keep us from being eaten by that saber-toothed tiger, so don't eliminate all of them. But strength is not physical. The 5th truth bomb today. The 5th truth bomb today. Your people will make or break you. Your people will make or break you. Who's your tribe? Is your tribe there to support you, to encourage you? Is your tribe there at 3 o'clock in the morning when you're having a meltdown, or God forbid somebody you love is injured or hurt or dies? Your people will make or break you. So look at your tribe. Do you know the number one rule to be part of our inner circle, our tribe? Don't be a douchebag. Pretty simple. I've never had anybody say that wasn't a pretty good rule. We could say don't be a jerk, don't be an ass, but our group resonated with that. I don't even know how that really came about. I don't know if it was on one of our community calls. We do 2 community calls a week. We're about to open a Q&A weekly with our community coaching, which is going to launch August 7th, a new vitality code. There won't always be a constant launch. It's going to be evergreen. You can come in anytime, but don't be late. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best day is today. And why are we going to do it as a community? Because as a cohort, as a collective, we have people that are going to support us, and we're not doing it alone. We get support when the light is bright. We get support when the light starts to dim. You get to answer questions. So the Q&A means I'm just going to have my Zoom open at X o'clock. And just like office hours, if you take in college classes, I'll be there to answer any questions about what you're learning that week. That's self-paced inside our portal on how to create a vivid vision, how to learn to overcome, how to create your non-negotiables, how to create your physical, mental, and emotional strength, how to not lose sight of your dreams, how to make sure that you're living your best life, how you're taking what I teach, what somebody else teaches, what you learn, what you see when you have coffee, when you have a conversation, that you can share it. So what is regaining your vitality, right? What is midlife in your next act? It's taking action every single day. It's having the physical strength, the mental strength, the emotional strength to get up, to get out, to get moving, to discover and learn your mission, your vision, and your purpose. When you have a mission, when you have the vision and purpose, you will get out of bed like a kid on Christmas morning because you don't need permission. Your mission, your vision, and your purpose, they're yours. Not your mom, not your dad, kids, brothers, sisters, Tia or Tio. They're yours. So 5 truth bombs today to help you step into your next act. No one is coming for you. You can't outrun what you don't face. You don't need permission to start over. Strength is just not physical. Your people will make or break you. Hey, don't forget, if you're catching me live, down underneath my picture, my video is a 4-day reset that the 5 truth bombs. Just get it. What's the best that can happen? YouTube, it'll be in the show notes. Podcast will be in the show notes. Here are 3 action steps today to put these 5 truth bombs into action. Declare your comeback. Stand tall, look in the mirror, tell the world I'm here, I don't need permission, and I'm coming. Declare your comeback. Do one brave thing today. Do one thing that scares you today. Do one brave thing today. Find your people. Look around. Examine your people and decide who your people are. Sometimes people are in your life for seasons. And if you're growing and they're not, maybe it's time to let them go, to bless and release. I didn't say it was easy, but sometimes it's necessary. It's no different than if you have a email list and somebody unsubscribes. They're just not in your tribe or your people today. And that's okay. They made an impact on you. You made an impact on them. And then it's over. Not over. That doesn't mean you can't roundabout. You can't come back because you don't need a reason to start over. You don't need a reason to start over. So if you're still here, hit hashtag live. Your comeback, hit hashtag replay. I still don't know what the best platform is. I don't know the best way to invite people to take action. I think that the way we've been doing things is broken. I think that when we think short-sighted, it's broken. I think that we can have challenges, and we do have challenges, and sometimes we do them for 7 days, 40 days, whatever it is. but I think we need to have a vision that's way, way bigger. I think we need to put things on repeat. I think that consistency is the key. I think that everybody that's come into my world and been blessed into my world, imagine if they were still here 6 months, a year, 10 years later. What would their life look like? I'll never know. But many have come back, and I appreciate that. Many have circled back. Many have tried it on their own. But I think we need life coaches. I think we need life fitness coaches. So I combine fitness and life coaching together because we need mentors, we need guides, we need coaches. If I wanted to learn to paint, I would get somebody who could teach me to paint. If I wanted to sing better, I would get a vocal coach. If I want to do audio and video, I'd get somebody to do that. But what if you have somebody that can see your purpose, your future, your potential first, that can be there to help you take those action steps, to take those things that you want to do, to make you better. So Chris's word of the year is better. And every day I ask him, how will you be better today? How will you be better today? What is your word? What is your one word vision? And not let you forget. That's my job, is to not let you forget. Is it too broad? I don't know. I have other coaches tell me that, there's so much noise out there. How are you going to stand out? You know how I stand out? I do it my way. I do it my style. And what I know is that you're going to come into a world at some time. If I don't allow you to say effing Dane, meaning, man, you did something, it was hard, it was challenging, and you're effing glad you did it, then we haven't worked together long enough. So walk through those doors with me. It starts with downloading the 5 truth bombs that every Gen Xer needs to hear so that you can step into the vitality code and the doors open April 7th. So I'll be back live on the Book of Faces at 6 a.m. Central Standard Time. You can catch the replay for 30 days on Facebook. You can catch it on YouTube because I'll download it. You can catch it on my podcast, Turn Positivity into Possibility. But in order for me to do it with you, you've got to take action. You absolutely have to take action. You have to be reminded that nobody's coming for you. You can't outrun what you don't face. You don't need permission to start over. Strength is just not physical, and your people will make or break you. All right, I'm going to sip the coffee. I would love to have a deeper conversation. What you've heard over the last X number of minutes is what I call Dane-ish light. If you want to go deeper, if you want to learn more, if you want to step into the power you have, if you want to take this next act to the next level, then just write next act in the comments. Shoot me a DM next act and let's just have a conversation. No obligation, but I'm going to empower you to take action. I'm going to invite you to be a trailblazer. I'm going to invite you to blaze a trail that's never been there before. I'm going to invite you to do things that you've never thought you could do, that I believe in you and that you are meant to do. It's Gen X, this is our time. We are not over the hill. We are the hill. We're going to attack the hill. We're going to climb the hill, and we're climbing it with grit, purpose, and no apologies. You've just heard the 5 truth bombs that shook something in you. Let it simmer. Like a crock pot, it's crock pot living. Don't scroll away. Take action. Download the 5 truth bombs today and start your next act. Don't let this be another moment that slips by. This is your wake-up call. This is your rise. You're not too late. You're just in time. So own your story. Rewrite your next chapter. This is Gen X Rising. And let the world know and feel the thunder of the Gen Xer who finally remembered to step into their power. Let's go. Let's start something. Let's do it together. Because my friend, I believe in you. Now it's time for you to believe in yourself. Go be amazing.